What's up, family? Welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live with me, your host and international award-winning Make Every Second Count speaker. I tell you what, that's like singing, that's like gospel to my heart to say that, and actually am able to say it with a grain of truth instead of a grain of salt. But I am here again on my 10th season to bring you guys guests that you can learn from and you can grow from the knowledge you learn from. But I ask you guys if you would please share this episode out. Invite as many people to watch it as you can. Just tag people in the comments. I don't care. And also, keep the comments coming. We want to have more of a conversation than just make a presentation. And then if you would also ask as many questions as you can. If I like the questions, she will be asked them. If I don't and they're not appropriate, I'll just ignore them. But thank you guys. And with no further ado, I would like to bring Miss Kristen to the stage.
Hi,
Hi, Kristen. How are you doing this evening?
I'm really well. Thank you for having me.
That is great. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I know that you're a busy person. You have a 9 to 5 that you work. And you actually just got off work because you live in Cali. Hey, I don't know if I should be dancing to that or not, but I want to say hi to Robert Brooker, who is watching us from Canada. And then I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Please invite other people to watch it. But if you would like to go through a short introduction about yourself, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what you do, I'm going to be posting this in a few groups. So I am looking down. I am paying attention. I'm just looking down too.
Sure, no problem. Well, you're right. I am from California. I actually am now out in Austin, Texas, too. So
Oh,
switch, but you're right. I am. Yes, I have a corporate day job, but I'm also a wellness author with 3 books out
cool.
and um, helping guide people with for wellness.
That is amazing, I have to say, and I want to say thank you so much again for being here tonight. And then also I want to point out that Robert Brooker said hello, Miss Kristen.
Hi.
So he is a loyal fan of the show, I have to say. I like having him on here. He always says hi to everybody in the comments, hi to our guests, hi to everybody that he can. It's really quite amazing. So I don't know if you noticed in that little intro to the show or not, but when I was 17, I was involved in a very serious car accident. Sorry, guys, I'm looking down, but I'm inviting people to the show. But so I was in a very serious car accident. I spent 2.5 months in in a coma and 3.5 in the hospital. They told me I probably wouldn't walk again, but I do, and I am each and every day. In fact, I work out like every day now, and
Thing.
it's pretty darn awesome, I
Mhm.
have to say. But I've noticed something, and that is on social media, we often see the highlight reel of everybody, and it looks like everybody else's life is going perfect except for ours. And I wanted to show other people that life isn't like that. And
Mhm.
it's much easier if we go when we don't just go through things. It's much easier if we grow through things. So has there been anything in your life that you have had to grow through?
Oh, I love this because I love the hope and all the growth too. So yes, mine. The reason why I'm here chatting with you is I learned my purpose, probably like you, was through a big healing journey. And mine was an autoimmune diagnosis that I decided, they also said I was a runner at the time, and they also told me you may not run again. And I just remember looking at them thinking, I'm going to be the one that heals this, and, I will be running again. And I didn't realize it would take me 10 years of understanding, I was always searching for a root cause. And meanwhile, the inflammation kind of became rampant throughout my body. And, there's times I had to use crutches, or my arm didn't bend or didn't straighten for years, or my eye was inflamed. And I would go through bouts of getting closer to healing, but it would just come back. And it was a 10-year period. All the while I stayed really in these stressful corporate jobs and hustle. And finally I started listening to my intuition, which said, you need to change your whole life and make some shifts, and what you've been doing isn't working. And so that's really what brought on the healing, and why I'm here to write about it and share about it was, understanding how much our thoughts impact our body, and learning the mind body connection, understanding how much our lifestyle, environment, patterns, words, there's so much connected. It's not just about, focusing on what you eat or your gut, but it's really like looking at your whole life, and, learning to make the right shifts to bring health into your life. And what I talk about is kind of, I had to realize that um, unhealed trauma that was in me, or the hustle culture, or just living in stress, or fearful, or survival, all those things just kept adding up and compiling within my body. And my body hit a tipping point. So it was really about learning that everything is connected, and learning to kind of see all that, accept it, and then unravel it and rebuild with health. So I like you want to bring hope and inspiration for other people that may have some, symptoms that they're trying to understand, or stresses or limiting beliefs, or the hustle culture. How can you bring shifts in your daily life? So through my healing journey, I learned my purpose, and I'm honestly now, I guess it's hard to say grateful, but I can now see that it all happened for me, not to me. So that was, yeah, change.
Ooh, I'll say this is powerful. So I do. All right. Well, first of all, I want to say that the one of the biggest things, one of the biggest problems I see with motivational speakers now, well, not just now, is all time, is that there's so much of that hustle culture, and even now it's probably worse than it was. They're always telling you that you need to go out there and get it, and if you're not doing something productive, you're wasting your time. But they don't understand that if you don't sit down and take a break on at times, then you're not going to experience anything good, because you're going to be so tired. You're going to be unhealthy. You're going to be burnt out, as you say.
Mhm.
And that is just crazy to me. It's just I don't like the hustle culture.
I agree. And some people can maintain it better than others. I'm more sensitive and I'm an introvert. And so, I may need more downtime. And I lived my whole life in the hustle. I had to rebalance. I had to learn how to bring in resting and allowing and safety and calm. And I had to realize how important that is too, because we were taught, you're taught just to go and keep going and, just sleep less. And eventually that may take a toll on people. I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. Well, of course I agree. I said it, but so yeah, I'm just agreeing with you, agreeing with me. I guess
I'm with you.
one of those strange little moments there. But one thing that I noticed that you said was you learned that your pain or whatever happened for you and not to you.
Yeah.
And many people in life feel that things happen to them, like the world is just out to get them. But I don't believe it really is. I believe that we go through these things in order to learn something, in
Mm-hmm.
order for life to teach us that we can go through that and make it out the other side. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just trying to test our resolve in everything. Because, all right, check this out. Like my car accident. M- I know nobody would think that if I had the chance to go back and change everything again, that I wouldn't take that. But I wouldn't take that
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be where I am today if that hadn't happened. I would not be here talking to these people from around the world. I would not have the story to impact lives. I would not know how to live a happy life 24/7. And people say you can't be happy 24/7. Well, that's actually true. But you, you see, happiness and joy are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say I shouldn't have said happy 24/7, but I'm joyful 24/7 because I'm still here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And many people don't understand that. And I assume you have seen how fragile life can be through your health struggles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm with you in that I would not, even though I appeared healthy on the outside, I used to only care about what people thought about the outside and never address the inside. And so I was never doing what I needed to do for me. I was never saying no. I was never slowing down. There was no boundaries. I was just a pleaser. It was always about how everyone else perceived me. So yeah, I mean, I'm an incredibly more healthier version of myself, incredibly happier. I definitely think I was a victim. Like I had that victim mindset before of things happening to me. And to get to a point of it happened for me, that was a very long journey. That was even well after the healing happened. I still had to sit with it more and understand. And then now to be here, just like you, being able to turn it around and help people and teach them what I learned in 12, 10 plus, 12 plus years. Like that's such a gift to me. And it's like the best fulfillment I could ever have ever. And to know my purpose and to see this intersection of, I've always wanted to help people. I can teach them about this healing journey. I can bring hope. I can talk about nature, which I've always loved since a child. So, kind of bringing all your purpose, all those things together to be in your purpose is just the coolest thing. And yeah, to have a new view on life, I'm in a lot more like surrender and trust and flow. And like you said earlier, I have a day job too, and I'm trusting that's where I'm supposed to be, that I'm supposed to be doing both. And maybe I'm supposed to show people that I did have burnout. I resigned from a job. I took a year off to heal my body, and I returned to the corporate world, and I'm healthy and I'm happy and I'm in my purpose and I'm able to even do both. And my body's doing great. So I think it's to like, I'm just to be in this kind of peaceful place of like, I believe I'm right where I'm supposed to be. That's so cool rather than like in the grind and unhappy with each day. It's really like it's you approach it with curiosity and like, okay, there's a reason, and let's just be grateful for everything today. So I'm with you.
Yeah, that is amazing. So I want to extend a hi to Chuck Wagner, to Lisa Moreno, to Gilbert Miller, and Jeff Martinet, my dad. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I appreciate it very much. You don't know, but so what would you say to other people that are going through something like this, something like they're feeling burnt out and they don't know where their life is heading?
Mm-hmm. I think a good first step. So I kind of broke down what healed me into a framework because I'm very much about what's the how, what are the steps, what are, I don't just
Yeah.
like theory. I need step by step, and I don't tell anyone exactly how to do it. I'm here to help people trust those little nudges in their body telling them what they should be doing. But one big one is try to slow down to reconnect with your body, because a lot of times if we're in burnout or hustle, we might just be living from the neck up and not really like feeling, in our body, and kind of learning to trust that our body is there to help us and support us and maybe communicate with us of what's going on. I also like to, people that might be burnt out may need to find their purpose, or just maybe need to slow down and understand, maybe they could be doing something on the side, even if you don't love your job and you need to be in it, right? But what is it that brings you joy, or how can you learn to be in your purpose too? So there's a lot of things. I try to, even with a busy day, I go and drink my coffee every morning out in nature with the birds, just to like, that helps reset. I think it helps calm your nervous system, whether
Oh,
you're
it does. Yeah.
listening to the birds, right? So
Mhm.
finding those kind of micro moments of bringing healing in throughout the day, being aware of your words and your thoughts and how important those are, right? Like you and I are both speaking very positively and not negatively, like that all helps. And it's almost like you're talking to your body, right? That like, we're happy and things are going well. So, there's all sorts of things about addressing your whole life and just how to bring in little shifts throughout the day to rebalance, and remembering, like you said, how important slowing down is truly, to just not only be in the hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so true. So I like that. Slow down.
Yeah.
Find more joy. Find little ways that you can find that joy. Like go out and drink coffee in nature.
Just little things. Yeah. Go do something for yourself every day, as tiny as it may be, but do one thing, one thing for yourself too. I'm a big fan of that, right?
And do you happen to have any examples of that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, filling your cup that's one of my pillars. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if it's,
You can't drink from an empty cup. It's
yeah.
kind
I
of hard.
Even if it's like you sneak out and buy yourself a latte, I don't care, or get your nails done, whatever it is. But I just think like, if you know if you're feeling like you're in the grind every day, right? Like, what's one thing that could bring you joy? Or could you, I bring a crystal to my office and put it on my desk. It's just a little something. Or just remember that you're important. You're not a machine, you're a person. And Yeah, bring your joy.
Whoa, wait a minute there. So, I want to focus on what you just said because I think that is important. That check this out, guys. You are not a machine.
Yeah.
Now, I know, you guys are probably thinking that I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not.
Yeah.
See, we are all taught to go, go, go. And we're taught that this country, this society is a instantaneous society, but it's not. We are not machines.
Yeah.
We are human beings, and we have to remember that. All
Yeah.
right, I'm sorry. I had to pause you there for a minute to focus on what you said because I found that to be imperative.
I like that. No, thank you. And I was the person that I used to think meditating or slowing down was a waste of time. And once you see what it really does for like your brain, then I realized, oh, it is productive to be meditating, right? Like resting could be just as important as exercising too. So
I
getting
gotta show you this.
that.
So, Robert just said, Jeff, mention of being funny. I was going to tell a joke about a tire, but I was afraid it would fall flat. It's kind of a dad joke, but it's pretty great. I have to say thank you so much, Rob. I appreciate that. So is laughter also a something that you find to be beneficial?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think so much is like self-worth, self-love, loving yourself. Yes, laughter, slowing down, rebalancing, all the things. Like, I think laughter is so important for sure. I mean, I think it's healing. I think we're signaling to our cells that we're not in danger and we're safe and we're laughing and it's kind of like speaking positivity too, right? You're always signaling to your body whether you should be in like survival and fight or flight or you're safe and you can relax and laugh and have joy. So I completely agree. I think it's all healing.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. I love to laugh too. If you haven't noticed, I kind of joke around and laugh here with guests and people in the audience. I find it to be a real hoot. Ooh, ooh. So, what would you say, to so all right, let's go through a suggestion here. So I know that Tom Dorney does work with veterans,
Mm.
and he is working with how to find veterans assistance. What would you say would be the best way for you for him to do that? Bleh,
Oh,
mouthful.
to help veterans?
Yeah.
Well, I certainly want to say I'm not an expert and don't.
Well, nobody's expecting you to be an
Okay.
expert. I don't know why I asked that. It
No,
just
it's
came
good.
to
I mean,
mind.
I guess what I would say is I try to create a framework that is about rebuilding a healthy foundation and like gently folding in some healthy practices, right? Whether it's creating safety, addressing your environment, healthy morning and evenings, what you eat, what your emotions are when you're eating, and maybe actually the more important one would be that reconnection with your body and creating safety and learning that your body is a safe place and your body's here to help and you know there's an author, Joe Dispenza, but he talks
Yeah,
about
Dr.
the mind
J.
body connection, but also yeah, talking things like believing in your healing, right? Believing in those best case outcomes and how important, you can almost like trick your mind to trick your body if your mind starts, if you think that you're healing. I think his whole story is that he had a broken spine and chose to not do surgery and instead like kept envisioning a healed body, and just how incredibly powerful that can be, right? Like thinking of the positive outcome. And I even think with my healing, so much was changing my mindset. Instead of taking ownership and saying, I have this autoimmune diagnosis, I changed it to, I'm healing. I have this thing, but it's on its way out. Or they gave me this diagnosis, my body is healing. You know, however you can change the language to not have ownership of the illness and have ownership of the healing and the health instead, I think that can be like a really good first step as well.
Okay, I have to ask a question because it just came to mind here. But yeah, you try to reframe things
Mm-hmm.
in a positive way. What is the best way to reframe things?
Yeah, I think one is just, and it still happens, I catch myself, but just reframing
Mhm.
to more of a, you know, I'm in the process of healing this thing instead of I have X, Y, and Z. It's like I'm healing, or I'm on my way back to health, or my body's going through something and it's on its way out. However, you can, whatever resonates with you of a reframe instead of owning the thing, because it's almost, this is the spiritual part of me, but it's almost like you're speaking it into existence, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to give it, more power. You want to give the healing power, right? And you power. So, and signaling that, you want to think it and say it, just being aware of all that and how much it can impact you. And I mean, I can tell you stories of me doing, um, some changes and healing overnight. So, from my experience, did we get a question? No,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I like it.
I'm not trying to distract you. I'm just trying to remind myself. So Robert asks, would you say that remembering that every journey is always one step at a time?
Oh, I like that. I mean, I guess I'd say, if I understand the question right, it's like being aware that it's not instant, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, understanding like it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And I think he's absolutely right in that, that it's, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Oh, I know that I had to keep, even though I'm saying this to you now, like, oh, I believe that my body was healing. I kept saying that even when my body was, it wasn't showing me the results, right? But I had to keep believing it. Just like, if it's financial, you need to keep believing that your bank account's improving and things are going to get better, and it's on, the bad stuff's on its way out and the good stuff is coming, right? Just like healing, and it might not be in exactly when you want it to be, but it's going to happen. But you have to keep trusting, and that's the hardest part, is to keep trusting even when you don't see the change or the results. So I think that's aligns with that kind of one step at a time, that you have to just stay on that path of trust, right?
Yeah. So one thing that I have noticed that you talk a lot about is trust. You have to trust that
Mhm.
this is happening, or trust that something else is happening and this is not happening. So what's the, I know we're running a little long here, but I'm just rolling with it right now. So what is the best way to build that trust?
So, and this was hard for me because this was a big one, because I didn't have it. I used to be very, very, very fearful. Like doctors said, I was one of the more fearful people they had met, just with my reactions and my disconnection, the disconnection with my body that I used to have. And it's almost like exercising a new muscle. Like your mind goes to fear, but you have to kind of stop it, like recognize it and go, no, I'm not going to choose that anymore. I'm going to choose that it's all going to work out. Or my mind used to go to worst case scenario thinking, and I have to stop it. And I'm going to choose the opposite. I'm going to go to best case scenario thinking, right? And it's like, it's honestly like a new workout at the gym or something, right? It's like tough at first, but you have to keep practicing. Or even like being in the hustle is really masculine, a lot like that energy of going and forcing and doing. And I had to learn how to do the resting and allowing in the feminine energy. And yeah, I mean, I'm proof because I did not have much trust or belief when I was really sick, and I had to learn to go the other way and trust and create safety and allow, and just honestly just learn to believe that everything's how it should be, and in the time in which it's supposed to occur. And it's a really it's a way more fun way to live, I'll put it that way, to live with trust rather than in fear.
It's so true. Trust. That's the main thing that I think she preaches. And she's not preaching, but you know what I mean. So I need to ask now. You said you had 3 books. What are they about, and how can people get a hold of those if they want?
Oh, thank you. The book about the kind of framework that helped me with healing, and I kind of gently guide people, is called The Elements of Healing. And then I wrote another book just on finding purpose. It's a workbook called The Purpose Workbook. Um, and
Creative.
and then, so that's just all sorts of exercises because I think it's so important for our health.
Yeah.
And then the last book is my most recent. I applied my framework to financial wellness because I needed to, and that's called that's called Healing the Money Wound. So kind of addressing our limiting beliefs, the financial limiting beliefs too.
Yeah.
I had those as well.
That is amazing. Now, how can people
Oh,
get a hold of those?
thank you. My website is probably the easiest. It's KristenReneeRebuilding.com.
Oh,
And I'm just about to launch a newsletter, and they can find all the other places to find me there. But I'd probably say my website is good. Yeah.
uh,
Thank you.
that's
And my
cool.
books are on Amazon. Yeah.
So, do you happen to have any contact information you would like to give out?
Oh, I mean, my website, or you can find me in any social media platform. And yeah, I mean, I think my email list would be fun because I have about 3 more books I'm writing right now. So I'll chat about those. I want to write about health in the corporate world too. That's kind of an area I want to tackle next. So there's just a ton of stuff. I just want to help and be a resource. And I do have some free things on my website too. My view is I do coaching too, but I want this to be affordable, accessible, and I'm just really called to write. And I think that's a good way to help people be able to, learn about this, and not a barrier with financial, right? So I'm called to serve truly. So
That is one of those things that I find very admirable of you.
thank you. Yeah, I did some like free affirmations on my website too. I just like, it's stuff that I want, only if it resonates with people, but it's stuff that helped me.
Yeah, that's so cool. I have to say,
Thank
thank
you.
you for doing that. But I know we ran a little over tonight, but that's all right. It's my show. I can do that. So, but I want to say thank you again, Kristen. I appreciate you being here and being open with my guests or my viewers or whatever you want to call them, my tribe. But I also need everybody out there to do me a favor, including you, Kristen. I need you to make every second count.
Mhm.
Why? Because you never know when those seconds will run out on your one life. That's all you get, guys. Just so I trust you guys will all have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you back here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, have a fantastic week. Thank you again, Kristen.
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing your story too.